Hello and welcome to the inaugural game of the online Polish Championship. My opponent is Jarosław Gąszlewicz aka Ateo, who is also recording this game. Now the system of play is there are two groups, 8 and 9 people strong, and we play a round robin. Two top players from each group are promoted to the playoffs and they duke it out for the top 3. And that's one interesting hand. Marshall and Europe, as tempting as it is, I think will not take the priority since I have the goal and Middle East. I would like to play the goal for ops, just to get it out of my system. Suez goes to blockade, of course. So Middle East headline. And unless he has Nasser or socialist governments, I should be relatively safe here. Got it. That's also annoying. But okay, do I go for the ballsy play? I've seen it work annoyingly often, so I think I'll try that. If he has the Korean War and wins it, well, I'm screwed. And then I'll just focus on Europe exclusively. Okay. Had he succeeded, I would have invented Suez, of course. So the plan is simple and frankly calculated down to a single op. Blockade takes France. Europe scored, Nazis invented, second cover for the coup. Oopsie. That always works, doesn't it? Okay, let's try the coup now. Ooh la la, okay, at least I get China out of the deal. And now, unfortunately, I'm royally screwed in Asia. And likely could out of Iran as well, but I should have some good value from Europe, possibly from the Middle East as well. Going for another coup. Damn. I really didn't like that 6 here. Good thing Israel is safe, since US and Arab-Israeli war are already played. As otherwise, they'll be all red from Libya to Thailand. I wonder if I had been too optimistic with South Korea. Probably. Ouch. Okay, nice advantage and a very, very, very bad position in Asia. Frankly, that calls for CIA. Since I can get Angola and Zaire for a price of 1. I have Nasser, so I enter Egypt first. And I really hope he doesn't have or loses Korean War and doesn't have Asian scoring, of course. Asia is 6 right now. Yes, I think I overestimated my ops here. Interestingly enough, 1 or 2 days ago I also played a very similar game when I scored Europe domination and Middle East headline presence on turn 1. Got an even greater position over the board, and I'm also too early for that, but I lost that game. Now the China card could likely be played if I see he has no 4-ops, which is another advantage of this approach. Of course he could simply purge me, which would mean I can't do anything other than suffer whatever he wants to do in Asia. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Okay. Okay, bad thing that he has it, but good news that he headlines it, because now I will be able to see where he goes and possibly counteract that. I mean, if he doesn't put one in Zaire, I think I go with the Angola plan. An unprotected influence in Venezuela, for example, also a good target. NATO, right. There is one drawback to him having NATO for him, meaning that if it's his only 4-op, he might be tempted, he still will be tempted to play it fast. Okay. And NATO, and yes, it is the only 4-op, and no Asia, no South Korea. Awesome. Okay, let's gamble, boys. Ay, 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 ay. Should have went for Nigeria, maybe. It's worth so much if I manage to grab that. Okay, what else he had? Fidels in van, NORAD space. Defectors, of course. I assume we will see NATO right now. He could overprotect North Korea. If he doesn't, I think I'll just go for it. Although there is this tiny little matter of presence in the Middle East that needs to be addressed as well, of course. Played first. Yeah. So that's bad. Okay, let's create a tiny thread maybe. Naturally, I need to grab at least Panama. Okay, so I will be somewhat ahead on score. Okay, he fell for it. The thing is, I can get a draw in Asia with these 3 countries alone. And that's the plan for now. His ops aren't great. I mean, NORAD, it's space material. Containment is a late term play, so I will be able to grab North Korea. Sadly, Formosan is no longer active. And okay, my hold cards. Nasser, sure, since, well, why not? Okay. Stops any notions of having a fight in there. Warsaw Pact will need to be evented, of course, for the second coming of NATO. Now I need to remember about containment. So my last play cannot be Truman. Now, if he's feeling adventurous, he might poke in Asia, playing against me, holding the scoring, but he has okay, NORAD and containment. Oh, 5 a plan, of course, which is the hold card. So I assume NORAD will go to space. Okay, what I need to ensure is Middle Eastern presence. If he doesn't take Venezuela, I'll put my foot down in Colombia. Maybe Egypt. Okay. All according to plan. So I'm going to assume containment goes to Libya and Venezuela. Now, do I want to hold Truman? No, I'll need more, I think. I could go to Colombia right now. He could coup and get the MILOPS, but he will not be able to take Libya then. Now it bothers me that I don't have a proper threat for AR6. I mean, one such threat could be breaking Algeria, but it's not very potent. Okay, cards unaccounted for, since this is likely going to be a tough game. Socialist governments, Asia of course, UN intervention. Ah, interesting. Might go for Truman after all. Don't really need more here. Okay, I've got Marshall. He got the Purge, which is very, very, very bad. Got socials as well, so that would partially counter that, but I'm pretty sure he will go with the Purge, which will mean I'll need to overprotect both Koreas. Okay, Marshall it is, I guess, and some suffering. Please don't purge me. Please, please, please. If he doesn't, I'm safe, since nuclear test ban means I can stop his China card assault when he tries it. Okay, that's a relief. That's less than a relief. Okay, need to hold on to that. Do I know of any other card that might make a difference in Asia? Any other 4-up? Not Marshall. NATO, he might be reluctant to play. Okay, gotta pick one, I guess. Okay, so Korean War goes to space. In this situation. And then I mostly wait. Good news is that as long as I hold on to Comic-Con and nuclear test ban, it's practically impossible for him to get a domination in Asia. I know I could have played it with you in intervention, but I really wanted to try to advance in space. Good. Ha 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 ha. Now we can focus on regular stuff. Actually, I think I'll need to grab at least one presence here. Now, situation in the Middle East is not peachy. No point in holding on to Nasser, of course. Since I'm, well, quite screwed in the Middle East already. Influence first, since then I still hold one here. No reason to go to Colombia as well. Okay, Purge goes out. Luckily there's no problem there. Please don't be Europe. Oh shit. Shit, that's bad. I mean, I know I got away with Asia here, but arg. Okay, I'm feeling adventurous here. Three. If I lose, so be it, but I feel I need to boost my chances a little bit. If that works, then with this hand I should be in good position overall. Get rid of cultural. Bear trap as AR7, steal the China card in the process. Fidel, I guess, will go with the intervention. His thoughts process is disturbingly long. One other advantage of playing Missile Envy is messing up with his AR1 if he wants to, for example, steal a scoring or perform a high-op coup. Well, he can no longer do that. My biggest worry is, of course, the Middle East. Muslim Revolution here raises my presence, and that one influence in Egypt will not be enough. Whoopsie. And ooh la la! Right, the card I needed. Exactly. So, Hey, you got me worried there for a while, buddy. Don't do that again. Options. I could go for Libya. So, okay, options here are 3. Libya, Algeria, Angola. Drawback of going for Angola is that decal repairs all the damage. Drawback of going for Libya is, of course, why didn't he headline Muslim Evolution? That will, he'll have a 4-2 advantage anyway. Yes, I will not make enough difference in the Middle East. In Africa, I just might. Okay, let's try that. That way I get access to Nigeria, so after I use voice against him in Africa, so that's the idea. Okay, I need to remember to play U2 incident before Fidel. Okay, let's give Q a chance. Oh, right. Need to cancel that first. Good. That was rather important. He had it. second delay doing anything else here. First things first, though. Please don't have Africa scoring as well. Damn it, wrong order! Oh well. And we're down to 0. Still, I might have been a better order anyway. Let's see if he has proper event. Guess not. Should I go over there as well? Maybe not. Most unfortunate. So I assume Cameroon to Thailand. Yeah, maybe I should have went for the voice earlier. Yeah, that's a big problem. I was really banking on that regarding Middle East. And now that will be one bullet I'll have to just bite. Might get better with that, of course, but still. Two talent, one Cameroon. Yes. And I did get it. Okay, I can't play that in the cover even. Yeah, I will not dare to risk that against will bury you. Also, yeah, too many problem cards. Can't complain about Junta, though. Right, Camp David. That might help a little bit. And I gotta remember about with Germany. Okay, I'll have double space, probably. So I guess that should not be a huge problem. Cards to worry about, of course, Brushford and BM. But could cost me horribly. Okay, that's not threatening. Yeah, I need 2 for Angola. So, do it like this. And now he misses. Well, now that is helpful. I know I could mess up Middle East a little bit, but oh well. Didn't miss twice. Yeah, I'm afraid I can't use that. So now, the moment of truth. What do you have against me? If he has Africa, I assume he's going to dump it now. I'm afraid John Paul will have to be the Q card. Whoa! Did not see that coming. Like I said, Jean-Paul is the Q card. And it worked. So, I need to leave Quagmire for the next turn, as I will be able to space it even then. Ooh la la, Mr. Big! Yeah, that means I'm playing the China card then. Probably both go here. I mean all three. Since I really don't have time to defend against all the threats. So event, score, realignment. Alright. That. Maybe I shouldn't have provoked it, that. Come on, really? Guess Camp David goes here then. Yeah. Please score Africa, preferably now. No. Please, I got that. Got ABM, US, Japan. That is good. Okay, Mission is out, so ABM can wait. Should I go with how I learned? Oh, expecting the purge here, right. And the Brushwork, he shouldn't have any more events that are truly threatening. Spacing will not be a problem, or hand management of any sort, since I just need to space one card here. Yeah, I probably should stop. Whatever he intends. He has no liberation theology, so other than Brushful or just brute ops force, no way to get into Central America. I'm a little worried about Asia. He could just break South Korea. I know I could ABM into Thailand, but I just prefer to leave it. Even if only for as a 4-up to protect against brute force attacks. That's right. Not a fan of the fact that I don't have any 3-ups. If he plays Allende, cool, okay. Ay, ay, ay. I'm guessing Africa now. Maybe I should. Yes, I definitely should have used one small step first. Okay. The big one. Doesn't get it. Let's see if I get mine. Yeah, I was bragging a little bit. Now it's looking almost optimistic. I'm no longer royally screwed in Asia. I have to assume he doesn't have Africa. Or he would have, really would have played it first. Ooh, interesting. Still, that's something I need to ignore since I have spacing due. Now he knows I don't have Africa. But Africa will happen. So might as well school control out of it. Unless he gets 5-year plan again, of course. Okay, from cards of note, puppets, colonials, the 3 scorings, of course. Hello. Prepare a domination and position against Cuba. So overall it's looking pretty good. He did not take the chance to... Ooh. Huh. Yeah. I know Central is the region due to be scored, but I guess a temporary domination in South America, that matters. Going for a coup. Right, so domination of Central. And yeah, I'm really not letting that one go. And I get to hold Revelation Theology out of reshuffle. And I have Africa, and we'll see his headline. And goes Japan again. So he gets zero benefit from that. Of course, he has the 2 African events, so he can break my control here with South African unrest. Yes, domination is perfectly secure. And there's nothing I could do about it, really. I mean, he would just fold it up with a coup in Africa anyway. So I'll have to score Africa in the headline. Come hell or high water. Now OPEC is a major piece of good news. It's just the card I need for the space race. And we do these 2 4-ups. Haha, I'm the big spender in the house. Unless he steals it, of course, but well. What can you do? Now, Liberation Theology will prove a pain for a while. Since, well, I can't space it, but after this turn, I assume with low protection here and there, I can just play it. No strings attached, no issues, no problems. Overall, it's looking pretty good. I actually, which seemed impossible just a moment ago, dominate Asia. Naturally dominate Europe, yeah. Nuisance. Nothing better. Maybe I shouldn't have put one in Sudan, but one in South Africa. To make sure that none of these 2 events can break my control. Gotta remember he has the second one as well. No, I just barely got this. Okay, and the big coup fails, actually. Might as well use... Oh no, he knows about NATO, I think. But that means I win this game. I don't think there's a way around that anymore. Okay, Defcon, sure. Always that. Gunman is not removed, of course. Of course. Okay, that needs to stay in reserve. As a response to his China card attack on Asia, for example. Okay. There is that. Still need to coup. So maybe I'm better off scoring Southeast Asia now. We need to defend Central America after all. And my ops aren't that great. Yeah. I'll just dump it then. Okay, if he coups low, I just coup back. If he coups high, I guess I'll grab Cuba. I know, risky. On account of DEFCON. Yeah, that's a high coup. One here as well. Okay, the odds are incredibly low for him to have Fidel in hand. I think there are 13 cards before the reshuffle, so we got something like 16 or 17, meaning only 3 or 4 were redrawn. Whoa! He actually got that. Interesting. Okay, space time. Can't have it all, I guess. Yeah, no wonder he pushed with the China card to Chile. I really hope he did not get... now I roll low, right? 5-year plan again. That would have been extremely annoying. Hello. Yeah, let's see it. Okay, that goes. That's for sure. That goes. But I'll keep Fidel in the deck. Yeah. You stay here, buddy. Take on the Pakistani one small step. Okay, scored. So, generous. Okay, let's grab Africa, of course. Threaten here. Hard to say what else. Break it here. 7-3, but just in case. Okay, time is good enough. I have China, so DEFCON is my main problem here. Panama Canal returned. No idea what to do with that card. I guess I'll go to Israel. Start the... Never mind. Yeah, event is not very useful. In case of Willy Brandt. Shit, Ortega at Middle East. But okay, I can headline Ortega. In most circumstances, of course. After that, I can ABM Libya, hopefully. Suez is not particularly expensive. Okay. Oh, not okay, but well, you know what I mean. And now I kind of wished I dumped Fidel. Yeah, this has a drawback actually. You can coup Cuba and then just grab Egypt. Which will be incredibly annoying. Although maybe he'll not consider that. He did consider that. Yeah, of course he did. Okay, that one's out of the way. Yeah, overall, I have a healthy VP lead and mostly control the board, and he did have to surrender the AR1 coup. For the price of getting Egypt, so I guess not bad. No red. Wait, Quack is not accounted for yet. Okay, let's grab Canada in that case, and since I will be playing Liberation Theology, Mexico. Yeah, what is the plan here? Okay, I assume I intervene Muslim. Play Liberation. Missile Envy here would have been so annoying. Maybe Space Suez? Yeah, 6 of if I don't fix that. I'll be below the Wargames threshold. Still, probably no reason to worry. My overall situation is rather good. Okay, let's see. Yay! Got a 1. Awesome. Okay, there is no event that can help me in the Middle East. Okay, I guess that solves my Suez Crisis dilemma. That's a space card. Since I will need to regain the threshold. Whoa! Mr. Big Spender! Really? Going for Asia? Shouldn't be possible, but well. Seven, 4. And he has no China card, no Indo-Pakistani war. Okay, Suez space. 5 or 6. Take your bets now, gentlemen. Oh, okay. Back beyond the threshold. Okay, using 1 up for a coup. Right, you are. 5! We have a winner! Huh. Yeah, otherwise I could just break Egypt, I guess. What? Oh. Huh. Yeah, we're gonna play here for a while, I guess. Okay, how about you don't touch Asia anymore? Since I'm getting worried about it. One coup for the road. Yeah, it's 6-5. Huh. Ay, 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 ay. At least I got out. Okay, be right back. Okay, turn 9 purge. At least it's not turn 10, but still not amused. Intervention goes with Pershing. Rapid rally, sadly, it's not deactivated. Okay, given how low our odds of getting anything in the headline are, with 1 up grain, I'll think I'll go with duck and cover. And of course I won't get anything in Asia. Yeah, I should have taken Vietnam when I had the chance. Definitely. Since I won't hold any card, that means I'm inventing grain cells mid-turn. Guess there's no reason to delay that. Okay. Unfortunately, I probably need nuclear test ban as a protection against whatever he tries next. Okay, that's out of the way. Good. That means he likely won't try much. I wish I could play Pershing here, but alas, that would leave Europe too vulnerable in case of reformer, something like that. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. I do need to coup something. One small step. Now it's been played. so no threat there. Up Israeli, I guess we'll go to Jordan. Ah. Okay, but that's a Pershing play. Socialist governments are no longer active. Yeah, that has to be a Pershing play. By the way, he has no mill-ups still. Yeah, one more. I don't think we've seen Willy Brandt yet, after all. By the way, I can skip around. Might be for the best. After all, giving him those 2 mill-ups. Might have that discarder event. Besides, now I just need to play it safe. Of course. Nuisance. Clever critter. Yeah, I'm skipping that one, of course. No, I am giving up the China card for the 10 turn. Damn, girl. Where have you been all my life? Junta, brush war, Europe, terrorism, Voice of America. Well now, happy to make your acquaintance. Can I event 5-year plan, by the way? Duck, cow. Yeah, that won't do much. And I roll a 5. Yeah, that's game. Score Europe, space, glasnost. If that's not enough, I'll make it enough. Yeah, now dominate every single region except the bloody Middle East. And yeah, no problem with that. has no one small step. Should have went for Panama. Guess we'll play for a while. Not a long one though. Brush for target. Libya, I guess. Yeah, maybe I should grab Egypt now. Ooh la la. Argentina already? Yep. Right you are, sir. Should be Panama now. Okay, that worked. Still, I get my Africa. $19. Thank you for the game, and you're welcome. Ah. Yeah. And last AR of the last turn. The game ends. And with this hand I got in turn 10, it couldn't have ended any other way. Although one might wonder if it had been much different without me with the peeping Tom bonus, because only that allowed me to ditch Ortega safely. So, thanks for watching, and until next time.